What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Travis Booker, and we're here with another series of the Golden Spotlight. Today, I have with me a friend of mine again, Jamal Jackson. Jamal, introduce yourself to the people, let them know who you are.
What's going on, everybody? As Trav said, my name is Jamal Jackson. Truly a pleasure to be here. Get this opportunity to interview. From Johnson, South Carolina. Went to school at Strom Thurmond High School and graduated from the University of South Carolina as an electrical engineer.
Okay. So, coming from Johnston and going to Strom Thurmond, how was that transition from that city to USC? What was that like?
Man, that was probably the first like big transition in life because like you notice how you said how the transition from that city. And Johnson is a small town, like very small. I'm talking maybe the population might be 2,000 on a good day. But honestly, it's ironically it's the peach capital of the world. But that transition for me was crazy. I went from a small town going into IGA where everybody know you play sports or anything from the high school. Oh, hey Jamal, how you doing? To going to a big city like Columbia, the capital of South Carolina. So I'm in the city now. I go in the grocery store and it's like I don't know nobody here. They don't know me. So it goes from, oh hey, who are you? Nice to meet you. To everybody knows the same person, the same small circle.
Okay, I got you. And what led you to choose electrical engineering in USC?
Uh, Honestly, man, I started off following my brother's footsteps. He went to USC Aiken and studied computer engineering before he went to the military. And for me, I was like, you know what? I want to do engineering too because I want to help people. But I didn't want to deal with blood or anything, so I said I got to pass up on being a doctor. And, being an engineer, man, it's just a problem solver. When we say electrical, mechanical, or civil, what have you, it's basically just specializing on what problem you're able to solve.
Okay, so speaking of those problems, could you kind of give everyone a background or what it is that electrical engineers actually do?
Electrical engineers, more so because I thought electrical engineer would be more so being hands on, but you can kind of depending on where you deployed it, well not deployed it, but where you work it, um, that determines what you're gonna do. But the majority of an engineer, you're gonna be doing electrical diagrams. Um, you'll be doing a small bit of wiring circuits if you get into something that deals with microelectronics, or you could just be simply if you go get your PE professional engineering license, you'll just be signing off on documents. So you're kind of like the brains behind the idea, and you let the technicians go out and do the job of wiring and putting your idea into life, making it concrete.
Okay. And so how exactly did you get to where you are now, going from USC into the professional industry? How did you land your gig?
Oh man, so I work at Duke Energy, and like I said, engineer is a problem solver. So I'm actually a network engineer at Duke Energy. And I got that job. I kept trying and trying. Like when you begin your engineering career in college, you'll get to a point where you want to do internships. And for me, I kept trying to get with Duke. They denied me like every year. And then finally, I graduated and I reached out to them again. I had a little bit more background from other internships. Reached out and I was interviewing for. I think I was like an IT position actually because I had a minor in IT. And the guy who interviewed me, he said, "You know what? I don't think you quite fit this role, but I might be able to help you out." And so honestly, at the end of the day, what got me on a Duke was connections and personality. No matter what you know or how well you know what you know, sometimes it really boils down to who you know. And just having the opportunity to interview with that guy and showcase my personality really got me in the door at Duke Energy.
Okay, that's good. So you said that you reached out to them a couple of times and got denied. So obviously that was an obstacle you had to overcome. What other challenges have you experienced from high school through college and even now at work? What are some challenges you've experienced?
Uh, I've experienced a lot of challenges. I try to keep it brief. Um, coming from high school to college, the workload and the responsibility it's a major shift there. Coming out of high school, my mom's was kind of always on me like, you studied tonight, you did this, you doing that, And I'm like, yeah, I get it done. I get it done. You know, you get it done at the last minute. You used to staying up late. When you get into college, it's like all of a sudden now I need to, you know, I have to pass up on some parties and get some rest tonight because I got a big project that I need to not overcome, but get done. And college teaches you the importance of like timelines and managing your time. And honestly, when time management is something that's going to follow you from college all the way through your career, because even now I began to get dipped into the project management role, and project management, the key word there is management. Managing my time has been one of the biggest obstacles to overcome that followed me from high school all the way through college to my career to this very day. And time management is something that requires discipline. It requires focus and dedication.
Right. And speaking of time management, I know that you do some side projects, but could you tell the people, you know, how you manage your time and do things outside of work?
That little small agenda that they give you in first grade, elementary school, and you like, man, why they giving me this? Like, whatever, I know I'm gonna get it done. That honestly is something that circle back to me now, being an adult, and that's what helps me manage. I do a little real estate on the side, and I'm also coaching the youth speed and agility drills. So it goes back to, again, that discipline to sit down and take that time to yourself. All right, I'm not gonna play the game. All right, I'm not gonna go out with my homeboys. I'm just gonna chill and figure out what I need to do for the next day, for the next week. So I basically structure my time using a small planner and an agenda that I kind of keep notes in. I got a little pocket size one that I keep with me everywhere I go.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely keep one of those too, man. Like you said, it gets busy. I even got a little whiteboard to keep some of my tasks and scheduling together on there as well. Um, but let's switch gears here, you know, jump outside of the professional world. What is some of your current goals? And it could be anything.
Oh man, current goals. I want to say my biggest goal outside of professional. Um, Number one is get married. Because man, honestly, as a man, as males, I feel like we slide off of that perspective a lot. But you know, I learned from a wise man that marriage is one half of faith. So and that's your journey towards becoming whole. So it's definitely something that's a big thing for me. And another thing is just being able to give back to those who paved the way for me. And that I put that outside of professional because I want to be able to do that, whether it's through money or whether it's through just creating different opportunities, which is why I started Built by Jay. That's for justice and equality, to give those who didn't have that same opportunity or equal leg up in the rat race or the race of life to be able to bounce back and make up for where they lost it. And those are, I'll just say two because I got like a long list, but those are my two biggest goals.
Okay, man, that's solid, man. That's solid. You you know I'm gonna show up to that wedding you get married, man. You know I'm gonna be there.
Hey man, I hope so, man. I'll be due to the most high, you know, God willing.
Okay, and just piggybacking off goals, what else motivates you?
Man, family is my biggest motivator. They've always been there for me. You know, the term family is all we got. I mean, it is, you know, my family, seeing the struggles from coming up from Johnson, being a small town, and you know, seeing how my family had what they had to do in order to get by, and what my mother and father did in order to give me a better opportunity. I want to be able, you know, to do that for someone else. So I guess the biggest thing that motivates me is my mother and father.
Respect, man. Yeah, and I think that's something important. You know, a lot of people try to do things on their own, but I guess people don't realize you need to sometimes fall back on family. And at the end of the day, that could be, you know, your biggest support system. Um, and also, I noticed you mentioned like, you know, a struggle when you mentioned Johnston or whatnot, but I feel like South Carolina kind of has a negative connotation for some people.
Yeah.
Do you personally think that people can be successful coming out of or being in South Carolina?
Oh man, definitely. I mean, look at you and me doing this interview right now, right? Um, it's all about kind of what people use to measure their success by. You know, you could be a guy from South Carolina measuring your success by somebody in California or somebody in North Carolina right up the road. But the important thing is, just like my coaches used to tell me on the football field, um, your success is really measured internally. So you can't come out on the field for some of those guys or young ladies who may be playing sports, whether you're on the field or court or wherever you are when you're facing adversity. You know, adversity is the mother of creativity. And you measure your success by not trying to be better than whoever you're facing that night or that day, but just trying to be the best version of you that you can be day in and day out.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. But I mean, that's true stuff. Um, and so we do this interview. You know, we really want to gear towards students of all ages. You know, we want them to see that coming from South Carolina, they can be something. And like you said, we're sitting here doing this interview. But if they are listening, when they do watch this, what's some advice that you think you can give some of those students?
Um, Number one, ask questions. Even I see so many men and women, even in the professional world today, that don't ask questions because they feel like, oh, this is a dumb question. There's no such thing as a dumb question because you're always educating yourself. And in life, your greatest uh, liability is your ignorance. You know, I don't mean ignorance in a negative connotation, but simply your lack of knowledge of something. So definitely make sure you ask questions. And in school, we have a tendency to, you know, we got to get it done. You know, we have to do things by ourselves. It's just you when you're taking that test. But in school, you know, you're developing your own character traits. You're developing who you are. So you got to be able to get that discipline for yourself. Okay, I'm going to focus on this task right now. You're making yourself disciplined. But as you begin to grow, understand that you don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to do everything by yourself. Reach out to friends who have like minds, family members who have like minds, and try to work together to get the job done as far as when you get out into your career and you're chasing your dream.
Okay. And then, you know, that's most of my questions, but is there anything you want to instill on our audience? Anything you just want to say off the top of your head?
Um, I love y'all. I love y'all. And I mean that. I really mean that in the sense that, like, I just love number one. I love my people, and by my people, I mean people that look like me and you, because you know that's the origin. That's where we come from. And then two, I love humanity in general because we're given one of we are God's greatest creations, and we're given one of the dynamic traits of being able to make decisions. And I think that's a beautiful thing to sit back and see how someone who may be watching this interview can make a decision that you and I didn't make, and take what we're doing here, or what you're doing here, and take it even further, and just continue to increase and I guess upgrade and revolutionize, and evolve society.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty good stuff, man. Well, we gonna wrap this up. You want to tell the people where they can find Built by Jay, how they can get in touch with you? So,
Yeah, so you can contact Built by Jay. I've got a Instagram page at Built by Jay, Jae. And just reach out to me on the Instagram page. If you don't have Instagram, you can find my Facebook, Jamal Jackson, and feel free to hit me up. Not only just a coach for athletics, but coaching for being able to father someone's life and help them out any way that I can.
all right. Well, y'all heard it here, man. We're gonna wrap up this interview. Thanks to Jamal for joining us here, and that has been another episode of the Golden Spotlight series.